There are some really great ways to use eggs and eggshells when you start your plants in the spring. Right now, as of this recording, it's still late March. We put out some vegetables in our garden that are cold weather vegetables, but today we're planting some vegetables that we're going to grow indoors for about 6 weeks before we transplant outside. And we want to show you how we use eggshells and even whole eggs to start our plants that we start indoors. And you can do this outdoors too. But we're going to be planting eggplant, okra, tomatoes, and green peppers today, okay? All plants that in zone 7 you can start anytime in March, and then after the last frost, which is usually mid to late April, you can transfer outside. Now, some of you are already aware of these methods, but many of you aren't, so we want to make sure to show you what's going on. We're going to start with an egg. You can use a whole egg as a perfect form of fertilizer or early boost to your vegetables when you plant your vegetables. I have a pot of soil here where we're going to start about a dozen or 15 seeds. Okay, make sure you get a good view of that. And all I'm going to do is bury this egg down there. I'm not going to break it. I'm just going to bury it down there in the soil. Okay, and I'm going to put a little more soil on there to make it a couple inches deeper. Now, over time, as you know, this egg's going to spoil, it's going to ferment, the shell will crack, it'll explode a little bit, and then that's going to happen right around the time my seeds start to take root, and it's going to provide them with the perfect fertilizer. So you bury your egg, it's about 4 to 6 inches deep, and then you just simply plant your seeds. You all know how to do this. I just put about 8 in there. I'm going to drop 2 seeds in each hole, and then I can thin them out later as they start to come in, or if I'm diligent, I can, you know, they say, a lot of people think when you're thinning out your plants that you're ripping one out and throwing it away. That's not the case. We take them out and then just plant them somewhere separately. I had one get away from me there. So it's that simple. Now we'll take this inside. We're recording outside for better light for the video, but we'll set this in the windowsill, and it'll take us about 6 weeks before we transplant that outside. But these okra are going to get such a great head start because of that egg. Now, here's the second way, okay? You can use, after you eat your eggs, keep the shells. You use a spoon for this because this spade is just a little bit too big, but simply fill your eggshell halves up with soil. And I'm not going to do them all, just showing you here for examples purposes. Then the same thing, I'll put 2 okra seeds, or eventually we'll get to our eggplants. We're going to do this on a massive scale inside. We're just making a quick video for you here to show you how we do it. Now, the reason this works so good is because eggshells are rich in calcium, nitrogen, and phosphoric acid. 3 of the most important ingredients in any fertilizer. So when you're homesteading, or even if you're living in town and you're just growing vegetables for your garden, a lot of folks try to stay away from the chemicals and the GMO stuff and all that crazy stuff they put into fertilizers this day and age. Eggshells have most of it. Now, thirdly, these are just crushed eggshells. Again, rich in calcium, nitrogen, and phosphoric acid. You can just take your eggshells, crush them up, and then you add them to your soil. Here's a pot. Okay, I'm going to put these all in here. Just put them in there, mix it up, and these things will break down. They'll biodegrade over time. And then again, I just simply add my seeds, whether it's the okra, the eggplant, the peppers, the tomatoes. And with this, you can just sprinkle these around a little bit unevenly, but give them a little bit of space. You know, we're just starting these. This is not where these plants are going to spend the rest of their lives. And then we'll cover them up just a wee little bit, maybe like a ½ inch of soil over top. And if your soil's got clumps, you want to break it down. Our soil's a little moist because it rained yesterday. So anyway, that's it, folks. You can use a whole egg, you can use half shells, you can crumple up the shells, but it gives your plants great nutrients. It's an excellent fertilizer, and 6 weeks from now we'll transfer these to the outside, and they're going to do really well because they've gotten such a good head start. If you found this information informative and it's something you think you might use in the future, do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. And make sure to tune in next time for more videos from Homesteading Off the Grid.